So you're just a normal guy from Northeast Ohio. Was there an event that made you want to chase storms, or was it something that just happened?
May 31st, 1985. There was a tornado outbreak, and a tornado hit my house directly. I was too little back then to remember it, but the thing is, I never actually wanted to chase storms. I wasn't big into storms. I mean, I liked weather, and I was interested. I'd watch the TV whenever something happened, but I was going to be in the Baja 500. I wanted to race trophy trucks and that sort of thing. It wasn't until I seen the TIV that I knew that I wanted to be a storm chaser.
Oh, okay. So it started with the TV show.
Yes.
Nice. I like that show. So, you said that your house was hit by a tornado in 1985. How old were you?
I was under 2 years old. It was an EF2 tornado. My grandparents and parents would talk about it all the time because it hit my grandparents' house too, which wasn't very far away. I even have a cousin who said they were in the basement and saw a pig flying past the window, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I apparently was in the playpen in my living room, and my dad went outside because it was storming or something. I don't know the details of why he went outside. Probably just to have a cigarette or something. And he hollered into my mom and said, "Get downstairs." And she ran in, grabbed me out of the playpen, and she made it 2 steps down, and Dad hollered, "It's over."
Okay, so I know Rage has some pets, so why don't you tell them about your dogs?
Okay, I've had lots of dogs since I was a little kid. I have had dogs. I'm a dog lover. Recently, I had gotten a puppy, and she is very calm, and she rides with me at work. So I'm going to try and get her to the point where she can kind of help us with storm chasing. I'm buying her a really cool, it's called a, like a tactical backpack for a dog. It's got multiple pouches on it, and I've actually got a sew-on thing that says Storm Chaser on it, and first aid, because she's going to carry first aid in case we come across a damage path or something. Mm-hmm. And she can carry like SD cards or whatever in that. And she's not trained to like go look for people if we come for damage, but I think just a dog's natural thing is to just kind of sniff around, and she's an indicator, like she indicates all the time. Just on like I have a lot of property, and she goes out and she finds rabbits and stuff and indicates. Yeah, I made her a Facebook, More the Storm Chasing Dog. So check that out. I don't like nighttime chasing. You just simply can't see.
It's really never something I'd ever freaking tell somebody, oh, it's a good chance for tornadoes tonight.
There was this time where me and her, was one of our first chases together, where we were sitting and a flash of lightning, you see a tornado in the distance, and we couldn't see what way it was going or anything, so we just took our escape route, and we paralleled it for a little while. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think we get in the RFD and got a little hairy for a minute. But I've never felt like my life was in danger.
No.
Just nervous.
That night,
not where I wanted to be.
Yeah. That night, I'm telling you right now, just because I think the scariest thing is you just can't see. The fact that you can't just look and see something at all is what scares me. So that night was very scary, like, because we didn't expect a tornado. We were looking for like lightning and like practice, and yeah, then that happened. And it really happened, and we're like, what the?
She screamed, "Get me the F out of here." Anybody who says that Joplin didn't have good warning, I recently looked this information up. Several hours before, they put out a scale discussion saying, tornado watch imminent. Then a tornado watch came out for that area. A few hours later, they put out another mesoscale discussion saying that a line of supercells that was heading towards Joplin, specifically mentioned Joplin in the thing, was the greatest threat at that time. Just a few minutes after that, the tornado warning came out. 17 minutes lead time on that tornado. That's a very, very large time. When your average tornado warning lead time is 12 minutes. And I think that year, the average lead time was up because of large tornadoes, and it was something like 15 minutes for that year. But still, 17 minutes lead time from the time that tornado went out until that tornado hit the ground. There was 17 minutes of warning. And if you want to say till the time that it hit the city, that's 19 minutes. They had plenty of time to take cover. They shouldn't have been out. I've heard so many stories of people saying they're very close to the Ozarks there. We don't get the big tornadoes here. That's in Oklahoma or whatever. They just simply didn't believe that Joplin was a possible large tornado area.
Well,
Nobody took warning.
I don't know. Obviously, I have read a lot, and I do know about all the warnings and stuff. But Joplin actually had a big tornado before, like, the Joplin tornado.
I don't know the history of Joplin's area,
but it's not like
But it must have been long enough that people had forgotten about it. That's a thing, and weather warnings. If you don't have a recurring event in your area, or something that keeps that fresh in people's mind, they tend to forget about it. And I'm no social scientist. It's just that I've learned these things from just being so into it.
And it is what it is. Like, you can see. Like, and the fact that people were outside looking for the tornado before they would even consider the warning is kind of...
Yeah.
You don't always see it.
Look how many videos from home cameras and stuff. And I'm not saying, don't want to... I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. And I totally botched that word. But...
Hypocrite.
I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, but don't go looking for a tornado without at least some training. Like, you have to have some, and you don't rely on radar. I have been kicked off of teams because I say I don't rely on radar. I use radar to get me to the storm. Use your visual cues. That is so important. Like, you cannot rely on radar. Sometimes there's a 5-10 minute gap. And if a storm's moving at 60 miles an hour, there's too much going on for you to rely on radar. You have to.
But you also...
Even a baby.
You also need to know what the visual cues are because you don't always actually see a textbook tornado.
Yes.
You know?
It's you have to know a lot about the storm itself.
The process and
Yes.
the like what happens physically before and during.
And that's when I saw the debris fall out of the sky. Still don't know if that was a tornado or just something blowing in the wind.
But whenever I was watching the radar and talking to him and watching the news, they were saying that it was that storm that had the confirmed. Because I remember.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just want to say that you got the best footage at home that night, rather than traveling 2 states away. It's just a good story.
Well, I mean, I traveled all the way across the state that day. I was almost into Indiana.
Why did I think you
another
went
hour
to
drive.
Illinois? Did you go to Illinois at all?
Not that day.
Okay, so
That
I'm
was
getting.
my camera lens or cap. Not that day, but I was almost to the state line that day. You're confusing the time that I drove the first chase this year. I drove all the way to almost the Mississippi River, and I saw I believe a funnel. It is so far away. I mean, I'll put the picture on the screen. You just can't truly tell. It's just this little tiny thing in the distance. Reed Timmer was in that area that day and got a tornado.
Of course he did.
And there was a couple.
Do you wish that you would have done it sooner? And if you did, would you have taken a career path in weather meteorology?
Well, no, I would not have. Look, I'll answer this in 2 parts. Somebody's talking on Zillow. I can hear them.
I tried to turn it down.
So I'll answer this in 2 parts. Would I have pursued a path in meteorology or something? No. I have a major dyslexia, which bothers me in both numbers and letters. I would be horrible. I am a horrible forecaster due to it. So, so I'm not a test taker either. You have to be a test taker to graduate college from that sort of thing. So I would have flunked out. I didn't go to college because I just, I'm not college material. Some people just aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I'm very happy being a driver. That's what I do for a living. And I don't drive a big truck, but I do I drive 200 miles a day. So, and that's just when I do 1 shift.
Right, that's crazy.
But the other part of that was, would I have liked to known that I would be into storms and storm chasing earlier? Definitely.
Yeah.
I would have learned a lot more earlier, and I would have a lot more tornadoes under my belt right now.
Mm-hmm.
My life would probably be very different in the aspect of personal things because dating is quite different when you want to go thousands of miles in search of water vapor.
Chasing fog.
I mean, clouds are water vapor. You just spin really fast.
It really is hard to find that compatibility of someone being like, that's normal, okay, we can do this.
Not that it's normal, but somebody that one is okay with you going just across the country or wanting to go with you. Either way. I have dated a girl that was completely not into it, and then I have had girlfriends that were like, I want to go. This sounds fun. So
But like, I understand even just the struggle of even finding a person that even cares to talk about it. For me.
That's something she's personally going through right now. We had this conversation off camera just a little bit ago.
Like, because it's such a, like, I don't even know. It's like when I start to talk to somebody about it, they're like, I don't know. They're just like, that is just so nerdy. you like weather. Like, they're just thinking of like preschool with the sun and the clouds and the raindrops. It's like, no, it's more than that. Okay, like, I don't know. It's just it's the struggle is real.
You know, storm chasing is hard, and this is why. You're trying to predict the future. You're using tools to help you, but you're literally trying to predict the future. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. When they see the weatherman on TV and stuff, they're always, oh, you can be right 50% of the time and still have your job. You're trying to predict the future. You're literally.
It's true.
So, let's see anybody else do better. If you can do better.
And weather is unpredictable. Literally, it really is. It can change, and no matter what.
Well, it's fluid mechanics. So, the air it's not a liquid, it's a gas, but it's, it constantly moves. Whether you're talking about in a small scale or over the entire country, it's constantly moving. It's a one little particle in air right now is being blown from me talking. And, from that little scale all the way up to what's going on in a storm, it's constantly changing. And there's no way to, at least right now in technology, there's no way to super accurately predict where any one little particle is going to go. So,
I'd say like inspiration. As far as storm chasing, you said Sean Casey. If you could pick any question to ask him, what would it be?
Would probably be some sort of question on building a TIF, because if I ever hit the lottery or come across money somehow, I'm definitely going to build my own TIF.
If you were going to build your own TIF, what would you call it? Would it be called a TIF?
Well, see, a lot of people don't know this. There's actually like 10 of them now, and they're not TIVs. But like Oklahoma University has one now. Somebody built one out of a minivan of all things. Reed Timmer's got 3. There's TIV 1 and 2, which I found out yesterday. TIV 1 is getting rebuilt, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So, it would be some sort of question about building a TIV.
That would make sense. Okay. So you said you liked Storm Chasers, the TV show. So what was your, I don't want to say favorite episode, but what was your favorite season and why?
Favorite season? I'm just going to say it's not technically season 1. I think you could call it the pilot season. It's the season that got me introduced to storm chasing to begin with.
Is that how you discovered Reed Timmer, or did you know of him before the show?
I think that's pretty much how everybody discovered Reed Timmer.
Yeah. Okay. If you could pick anywhere in the whole world to chase, where would it be? I think I know the answer to this.
Home.
That would be my answer too. But I don't know why I thought I've asked you this before, and you mentioned you wanted to go to Australia or something.
I would. I'm a fan of Australia, but I don't have desire to travel like anywhere major. I just go where storms are. But like, I would like to visit the car culture in both Australia and Japan, but not so much like weather stuff.
I don't know what things.
We're uncomfortably close.
Yeah, I seen like fucking stand right back here.
The only thing I can do is dive south or
Why are you stopping?
I'm trying to figure out
Oh my god, go. Get us out of here.
We're going, chill out.
Do you need radar? We're about to be right in the middle of the hail.
Now we're going with it's a common question. Like, on every single live feed, there's at least Hurt. If you watch the Hoonigans, all the time, there's kids asking him, how do you get that epic beard? So that's why.
Okay, I get it.
So so the question being, how do you grow an epic beard? First of all, you're humble enough to grow one. Second of all, it's not always this big. It's only a wintertime thing. This is a wintertime thing. So technically, when the temperature drops below 70 degrees, I start letting my hair grow out. And then when we get our first 70-degree day in spring, I will chop it all off. So technically, this is a measurement of how bad our winter's been.
Well, guess what? The groundhog says we have 6 more weeks of winter. So you're going to have some long hair.